Hello and welcome back to ENG and my name is Bharati. What are question tags? Do you want to learn question tags? Well, let's take this 5-day challenge and make sure that we are clear in this concept by 5 days. You may also share your doubts and suggestions in the comment box. Kindly share this video to those who may find it useful. Now, let's get into the video. What are question tags? Before that, we must know what a question is. What is a question? Well, what is a question? A statement that asks a question. This is a question. That is an interrogative statement. A statement. Now, are you busy? This is a statement and it asks a question. Where do you live? Can you help me? Do you like pizza? Has she come? Here we have the WH question as well as the yes or no type of questions. You can even observe that each statement begins with a capital letter and there is a question mark at the end. And there are a few words. So this is a statement that asks a question. This is also called an interrogative statement. Now to the next slide. What is a question tag? A short phrase at the end of a statement to check if the listener agrees to the speaker. So this is the question tag. What it is? It is a short phrase at the end of a statement to check if the listener agrees to the speaker. Take for example, I am the speaker and you are the listener. Now I ask something, I tell something that is a statement. To confirm that, I ask a short question. So that is the question tag. Now look at this example. She is in the library. So this is a statement. Isn't she? This is the question tag. This I am asking to confirm. So this is the question tag. So she is in the library, isn't she? So it is a short phrase. A question tag is a short phrase. Phrase is a group of words which gives a partial meaning. So short phrase, and this phrase has only two words. One is this she is a pronoun and this isn't. This is an auxiliary verb. Next sentence. They are good friends, aren't they? She has not come, has she? They were not late, were they? He does everything perfectly, doesn't he? Here in this next sentence, they are good friends, aren't they? This is the statement and this is question tag is used to get the confirmation. And how is this question tag framed? It is framed with the help of an auxiliary verb and a pronoun. The auxiliary verb is already present in this given statement. Here, they are good friends. So here, are is the auxiliary verb. So are, it becomes the negative form and they. She has not come. Here, the auxiliary verb is has. Come is the main verb. So has she. They were not late, were they? He does everything perfectly, doesn't he? So does is here. This is the auxiliary verb and doesn't he. You will learn in detail as you go into the next slides. So before that, we know what a pronoun is and now we have to know what an auxiliary verb is. Let us see that. Auxiliary verbs are otherwise called as helping verbs. Auxiliary verbs are otherwise called as helping verbs. We have many types of helping verbs. We have the be verb, the have verb, the do verbs, and the modal verbs. The be verbs are is, are, am. So this is, are, am are the present be verbs. Is used for singular, are is used for plural, and am is used only for I. Was, were, these are past be verbs. Was is used for singular, were is used for plural. And this be is the future be verb. For future tense we have be verb and for that it is only be. This is used for both singular as well as plural. Now we have verbs. The have verbs are has, have, or had. So has and have are present have verbs. Has is used for singular and have is used for plural. Next we have this had. It is used for the past tense in both singular as well as the plural forms. Next we have the do verbs. Does, do, did. This does and do are present do verbs. Does is used for singular and do is used for plural. This did is used for the past tense and this is used for both the singular and the plural form. Next we have the modal verbs. The modal verbs are 9 in number. They are can, could, shall, should, will, would, may, might, and must. So all these are auxiliary verbs. We frame a question tag with the help of the auxiliary verbs and the pronoun. These auxiliary verbs may be in positive or in negative. If it is negative, we use the contraction. So, how to make that contraction? Let us see. The contractions. Contraction of the auxiliary verbs. First, the be verb contraction. So, the be verbs are is, are, am, was, were. So, is plus not becomes isn't. Are plus not becomes aren't. Am plus not is aren't. Am plus not is aren't. If you write it is amn't, it is wrong. We don't have anything like that. Am plus not is aren't. Was plus not is wasn't. Were plus not is weren't. So these are the negative contractions. The short form. Contraction is short forms. Next we have the contractions of have verbs. Has plus not is hasn't. Have plus not is haven't. Had plus not is hadn't. Next, we have the do verbs. The contractions. Does plus not is doesn't. Do plus not is don't. Did plus not is didn't. We should not pronounce it as excuse me. We should not pronounce this as didn't. It is didn't. Next, the modal contractions. Can plus not is can't. Could plus not is couldn't. Shall plus not is shan't. Should plus not is shouldn't. Will plus not is won't. Would plus not is wouldn't. Must plus not is mustn't. So these are modal contractions. Now let us see a few examples. Now, we are leaving today. Once a statement is given, before we write a question tag, we have to check the modal verb, we have to check the auxiliary verb in the statement. Now, we are leaving today. Here, are, we have this are, and leaving is there. This leaving is the main verb, and are is the auxiliary verb. Now, while we frame the question tag, if this given statement is a positive one, we have to give a negative tag. If the statement is a negative, we have to give a positive tag. So all the sentences here are positive, so we will give a negative tag. We will do it one by one. We are leaving today. So are is the auxiliary verb. The negative form of are is are plus not, that is aren't. And the pronoun here is we, and so we, aren't we. Next, I am in the theatre. Am is the auxiliary verb. The negative contraction, that is am plus not, is aren't. And I is the pronoun given here, so I, aren't I. He was jumping. Here was is the auxiliary verb, jumping is the main verb. So the negative form of was is wasn't, was plus not, that is wasn't, and he is the pronoun here, so he, wasn't he. They were in the garden. Here where is the auxiliary verb, the negative form, were plus not is weren't. They is the pronoun, so they, weren't they. He has come by bus. So here has is the auxiliary verb, come is the main verb. The negative form of has is hasn't, the contraction has plus not. He is the pronoun and so he, hasn't he. We had enjoyed the day. Had is the auxiliary verb and enjoyed is the main verb. The negative form of had is had not and the contraction is hadn't. We is the pronoun and so we, hadn't we. She will come today. Here will is the auxiliary verb, come is the main verb. So the negative form of will is will not, that is the contraction, won't. She is the pronoun, so she, won't she. We must follow the rules. Must is the auxiliary verb. Follow is the main verb. Must plus not. The contraction is mustn't. We is the pronoun, so we use we. Mustn't we? So you might have understood how we frame the question tag. We use the auxiliary verb given in the statement. We check whether the statement is positive or negative. If the statement is positive, we give a negative tag. If the statement is negative, we give a positive tag. But today we have learnt only the tag which has a negative one because all the statements are positive. Well friends, that's it for now. Let's meet in the next video with the Day 2 challenge. Keep watching the video to register the content in mind. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and hit on the bell button. Also drop your suggestions in the comment box. Thanks for watching.